Yeah.
Three interesting Sheilos in this Parsha. Ayid asked a simple Shaila. His wife bakes chalas. She likes to bake challah. It's a big schus. It says in this week's Parsha, the woman has a chance to do challah. These days, women feel it's a big schus for many things, and they want to bake their own challah. He has a big family. The challah they bake is not enough. So he also buys some challah from the bakery. He happens to like the challah in the bakery better. Since the din is that you're supposed to...
His wife has probably used a spell, that's why.
So the shaila is what you're supposed to make the bracha on the more choshev challah. The Alter Rebbe says it's a makuf samaches. They brought in front of him two breads, a bread pas goy and pas yisrael. Mevorach al shel yisrael afila ein nizem and pas nochrim. Chazal made a takona that you're not allowed to have bread from the goyish bakery. Then they saw that the Jews are not keeping the takona. They said no, that takona is bottled. However, a Yiddishmayim is supposed to be nizir. So if they bring them two loaves of bread, even if he is not nizir, he should do the Jewish bread. In Paschal Nochni, Pas Nakia, Pas Yisrael, Pas Kibbet, if the Pas Goy is clean and a better bread, if they're both equal, it's his choice. But if he's nizir from Pas Goy, he shouldn't. There's an opinion that says no. Even all year he's nizir not to have the bread of a Goy. He's allowed to use the pas goy. Sheisa pas nochim hu isa kal vetero mishum chibav mitzvah shevarech ala chavev. They were matter even though it's a isur, but it's a isa kal. So therefore they said better to eat the pas goy in order to make the bracha and the more choshev bread. So therefore the maskona the Alter Rebbe says yesh l'salak a pas shel goyim min hashulchan ad la'achar b'chas hamoitzi. The best eitzah not to go into this problem is to take away from the table the bread, the bread, the pas goy, and after moitzi you can bring it back if you want. V'meisiv v'mei oirach she'en nizam pas shel nochim v'mei al shulchan pas shel nochim nekiv v'kivin she'oirach chofetz le'echel ha'yofa shel nochim v'yef shel lechem l'bracha u'b'chosim matelza balabais lo'itzi de'chevosim imenu. If I have an oirach and the oirach brings his bread, and so he plops it down on the table, and it's pas goy. And now the minhag in those days, or even today by most people, Chabad not, that the balabais makes the bracha and everyone says amen because Rev Amadas Melech. So now. That person, for him, it's this is a better bread, the pas goy, so he should make the bracha on the pas goy, even though all year he doesn't eat pas goy. And once he already made a moitzi on this bread, he's allowed to for the whole suda eat pas goy. It's not covered to the Eibush that he made a bracha and now he pushes it away as if it's tereif. Even though you only have to make a bracha on the choshev and the chaviv when he wants to eat from it. It's not that he really doesn't want it. You have to make the bracha on the bread that's more precious to you. This bread is more choshev. It's a choshev. It's a good baguette that came out of the baguette store. So it's more alamai. That's pas palter. Good, but it's still more choshev. The isser is what would hold you back. Lachen yimtze ilo sheyuchel sheyechlanu be'eter. Kegoin kan sheyechavev bo ha-mitzvah. Over here, it's because this is going to be a chibuv mitzvah. Tiru l'chachamim. Kekol b'chzanan and tolu b'chavivus. Because by all birchas hananim, it's told in the chavivus of the person. Shalach chavivus hanaosi u'mavorich. When it's the chavivus of his anoah, wherever it's more chaviv to him and more anoah for him, that's when he's mavorich u'mashabech l'kadosh baruch hu.
Why should it be different than like
showing elder people makbid eat only pasta, so not pasta powder. It's more covered, but
No, so they don't bring it to the table. They don't buy it. Over here, it's already on the table. They don't buy it.
right. But I'm saying that since one's halacha, one's his own, why shouldn't he be vatal with certain things that's not halacha? You're also needing to do that.
No, but we say this is a isur kal because Chazal, so the mevatel the isur. They just said that Yiras Shamayim should keep it. So we.
Vatal is a pasta powder.
Yeah, what do you mean? The people. Okay, good. They said that a Yiras Shamayim should keep it. So that's called the isur kal.
But you mevayash the oreach. If you bring your pot goy, put on the table, and you don't make a bracha on it, you mitvayash.
No, that's not what he's saying. Not because of that. He's saying not because of busha. It's not because of busha.
Why not
Wine
put
would
on
be
the
the
shula?
bread, so why not the pasta sauce be divided by pasta powder?
Avalim bala isur pas shel goy, eich shuvalov pas shel Yisrael. If the take, if there's no difference between the two breads, you should use the Jewish bread. Sorry. In Balabais, ain't an izem pas shel goyim. Vein dait the lech kol asuda ala pas shel goyim ki in kiyem ne beis eichel pas shel nikia shel Yisrael afa pi shte alech machel panot tzarech lefare asher nochem anikia. Hol vein dait the lech ala memene vechabiv ala afa pi shel beis eichel shel Yisrael and zakum hol bo abetzeya. Okay, so I just wanted to give you so we see that there is a concept that a broch has to be made on what's chaviv, to the extent that even if a person could get it off the table, good. But if he can't get the pas goy off the table because the oirech brought it and he can't insult him or whatever it is, he even would make a broch on pas shel goy. Huh?
Next to the
They have a yid going once a week to put on the bakery, fly the fire.
Picture doesn't touch that.
No? They go in once a week. They go in because they're big.
The baguettes.
The baguette.
C'est très bien.
Oui.
French baguette.
French baguette.
Picture doesn't touch that.
No?
What about
I wasn't there that night.
Nah, Nissen didn't eat.
Nissen was only not fresh.
Right. Nissen ate the challah his wife made, Shabbos, and then he would leave it on the table. He would eat it from Shabbos to Shabbos.
He didn't even cover it in a plastic bag.
No. Because I'm old, that's when he ate it.
I'm not sure. Ad kadei kach. I don't think
He never would have been able to even taste the ice cream.
I don't think so.
Don't taste an ice cream.
His grandchildren eat ice cream for him.
Could you give me the sour cream? Thank you.
Can I make a sandwich?
No.
Because they make Shabbos, they got to cook the yeshiva bread.
Hey, because then they want the whole process to be pasta shiro. They want to be safe on opening the fire.
Because it's not concerned with that. So,
Go for it.
bunch of them.
So, back to our question. Rabbi Eliashiv said an interesting story. Rav Dessler used to make kiddush on a kois that was only, there was enough liquid in there that would be good according to Shiva of Avram Chaim Noah. A little over 3 ounces. But definitely not good according to the Chazon Ish. Kol Yemei Chayav. His wife passed away. And the Shabbos of the Shiva, he asked that they should get him a new kois that would be good according to the Shir of the Chazon Ish. What happened? What happened? His wife they got married, and she brought a dove choshev to her from her family. They had medoide doides a becher. It turns out that becher was only good enough according to Shir of Rabbi Avram Chaim Noah. He never wanted his wife to feel bad. Say, yeah, I'm the big Baal Musa, the yeshiva world. I got to go with the Chazon Ish. I'm going to go with that Lubavitch Shir over there.
Wow.
Chas v'sholem. I didn't want to.
This better was even before Chaim Noah.
It turns out that it was.
He had something.
Yeah. So he didn't ever wanted his wife to feel bad. So he always made the kiddush on that becher when she was nifted. She was not at that. So Mela, he decided to buy himself a becher that they'll be good according to the Shir. I don't know.
I think so.
Stam Lechatchila had in mind that he's doing it only for the covet of his wife. Fedish had in mind. Yeah.
He was a broker. They used to egg even on Pesach. So he by family. He wasn't so sure about their standards, so he didn't want to eat. So when they offered him food, he said, I don't eat kibroks. So for 75 years after, he never ate kibroks after. Because he said, I don't eat kibroks, and he wanted to keep to it. I don't eat, but he never ate kibroks after.
The story also about fish.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here you say, here he didn't say he's going to use it, just had in mind.
Yeah, the covet of his wife.
I guess that's what Shadar is on the table.
I guess. Chazal say, Oyeva keguftoi umechabde yosem megufei. It's a Gemara in Yevamas Daf Samach Beis. Interesting. There's a Sefer Achinuch. It's fascinating. In the Mitzvah Tov Kuf Ayin Tes, he says that Isha is klichem dosoi. Klichem dosoi. He says, interesting thing, but it's like counterintuitive. According to some religions, you can't get divorced, right? You can't get divorced. According to Judaism, you're allowed to get divorced. In what case? What are the grounds for divorce? Machloikis. One, the first shit is the Kedichat Avshiloi. Kedichat Avshiloi. It sounds so harsh. It's that in the morning she did the eggs, she scrambled the eggs, and he likes the scrambled eggs like this, like we get it here in Beis Menachem Mendel. and she made it burnt. Oi, grounds for divorce. So the Mechinuch explains faked. He says a woman is klichem dosei. The Eibishter wants that the husband should love his wife, and this is mamish is klichemde kekli ayoker shebabayis. If it was no such a thing as divorce, she's not klichem dosei. So what are you supposed to do? He worked very hard, and it turns out she's not klichem dosei. So that's what the Eibishter said. Okay, so let them get divorced. Because a woman has to be klichem dosei from the person.
Oh, but it happened to be once my wife made me eggs. She made it very, very well done. And I don't like well done. And when I got it, I said, you know what? This is the best eggs I ever had. And she started doing it all the time. Well done. And I ate it. I shut up my mouth.
Very good.
But then after years, I teach her that make it in between.
Very nice.
That's good. Very good. Very good.
I'm too honest.
Very good.
You don't have to get divorced if she can't stay.
I dislike her.
I just want to say to have a moment to say a quick story that everybody knows.
She does it on purpose.
We went to the Menachem Lover family.
Speak loud, they don't hear.
Last week, we went to the Menachem Lover family. And one of the
Somebody's talking, please.
It was a Yid, his name was Rabbi Bunin. The Yid lived in Williamsburg. He was a Litvish guy, but he had issues there. He used to come to Ukraine sometimes. And many, many years ago, when Rabbi was in become Rav, the question was, he also gave in his candidacy to become Rav. And he claimed that he had to give a dress a chance. But he came there, so that his father did. He said, oh, if Rabbi Yusuf is there, he's not running for Rav. And he tried, he's not running. Many years later, he came to the Rebbe meeting. He told the Rebbe the story. The Rebbe smiled. The Rebbe picked up his hand and said, he lived till 100 days.
Oh, the story, yes.
Yeah?
Wow.
Last time on CLO.
Wow.
He gives CLO exclusive coverage of his most the shots for bringing.
Yeah, but you understand, when you come to his Fabrani, he says stuff that he can't say on the radio. That you don't get.
Thank you so much.
Because
Thank
that
you
can't
very
be verified.
It's stuff you heard directly from Drake.
So, Bekitzer, Rav Eliashiv said that he thinks that for sure this Chevraman should decide that the Choviv to him, since Choviv is subjective, I'm sorry. So he should decide that the challahs that his wife makes are the most tasty and delicious challahs. And he said another beautiful word. He said sometimes the Chassidim come home with shirayim from the Rebbe. So even if the bread is not so clean because it went through a
Enhanced.
couple gilgulim, so a chassid should consider that more chaviv because he got it from his rebbe. So he should make the bracha on that bread. Chassid should daher. He should make a bracha on that bread.
I was thinking about this Friday night. Someone wanted me to feel his insoles on his shoes. He went to Costco. He made insoles on his shoes. He says, "Here, feel it." I'm in the middle of eating. I'm so sorry. I can't touch it down. And I realized the Rebbe said you should never be disgusted by another Yid.
Oh.
And I was wondering if I would do it different the next time. I wouldn't. I still wouldn't touch it.
No.
He said, "I shoes insoles." And he says, "Feel it."
Wow. I don't know,
Yeah, Vada. Not eggs, they're yaitses. He speaks a lot of language.
What language is that?
Russian.
See, he wants you to have. Yossi, he wants you to have a bittul. That's why I call it.
Yeah, but I said, you know what? I'll smell them better before touching them in the middle of the meal.
Wash your hand. What's the big deal? Take a soap and wash.
He wanted you to touch what are these shoes?
You know,
Insoles.
in
Huh?
the middle of a meal.
He was telling me what.
Why you eating?
This kid has a lot of aches and pains, unfortunately. He's a good friend of the shul. He has a lot of aches and pains. He was telling me how he would have gone to the podiatrist, but the podiatrist wanted $400. Instead, he went to Costco. I'm sorry for interrupting. I want to get a little take a little drink. Instead, he went to Costco. With it's like $180. They give you like a molding, and then he says, "Yeah, take it." He says, "Look, I'm in the middle of eating."
He wants you to buy him a new shoe. That's it.
Take your word for it.
No, they were pretty new. If they weren't new, I would have taken them out of the house.
Next.
I'm so sorry. The idea that is collecting for soup kitchen for my name and everything. So it's very worthy.
Good.
If they don't want the a few dollars, it's out of it. His name is Ben Mashiach.
Oh my.
Yehuda Ben לא, זה
He's Afghani.
I don't have a wallet on me.
He's Afghani.
Oh, yeah.
Afghanistan.
Wow.
There's one year left in Afghanistan and 2 shuls, and every Shabbos he davens in the other one. It's Shem Shalach Bracha V'Atzlacha.
You know he's not Yamana, he's Afghani.
He told me, yeah, Kabul.
Uh-huh.
It was Sfarim written in Kabul. The Sfarim,
Right.
Sfarim that
Yeah,
were
yeah.
written in Kabul.
Yeah.
A lot of the Pashtuns, the Afghanistan tribes, say they come from Jews.
Amen. I have a daughter-in-law from Afghanistan.
Yeah?
I mean, I have parents.
The Pashtuns, they all say they come from Jews. There's 25 million Pashtuns, and they don't blend in with nobody.
But not all the Jews.
No mess.
Afghanistan are
They're
Pashtun.
the baddest cats in the neighborhood.
How they push the Eden?
Maybe that's how they got the name. Not a push the Arabs. I mean, most Muslims.
That was
Radical.
It's definitely kosher.
You got the statement.
No, there's someone interviewed one of them, and
Oh,
he
yeah?
said the reason.
Yeah?
He says if you come from Jews, so why don't you sympathize with the Arabs? Because they say now Muhammad is an over.
What do you say?
You gotta stop.
Well, see, the name is Mashiach. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Moshe ben Mashiach. You know Yehuda ben Mashiach. Name is Yehuda ben Mashiach.
So there's a story in the Parsha about a Mekosh Sheitzim, and they didn't know what to do with him. They put him in the jail. So yesterday we did about Birchas HaGoimel. So there was a few questions that were asked. Talk about what ladina. What's the din? A person that goes out of jail. How about if a person's in house arrest? How about if a person has
I was going to ask, because Shalom Mordechai he's already commuted.
right?
He's still not in jail. He's not in jail, but he still has restrictions.
But there's
But
still
his life
simcha,
is no
he's
longer engaged. The
not
reason why
in
you say
captivity.
Goyim is because your life is not
Right.
He's not in captivity.
It has nothing to do with your freedom of movement. It has to do with your life.
Get killed on his side.
I was in jail one time.
Yeah.
Yossi, I was in jail one time in the army.
I was not allowed to leave the country though. In Israel.
But listen to that why.
We know what you would do. You don't have to tell us what. We know.
Let's listen. Be quiet. 1 second. every camp, intelligent camp, they have an officer the whole day, big rank, and a small officer at night from 8 o'clock till 8 o'clock in the morning. So I was at night officer there. We in the top of mountain, and down there they have the garbage, and the Bedouin find a lot of secret paper, and the army's police got it, and they came to me. You are in charge, put me in court. The judge from the army, I said, you know that it was 4 o'clock afternoon, I wasn't in charge. So he told me in Hebrew, he said, Yesh dragim veyesh zragim. They have high rank and they have people that can't get it. We cannot put them in jail. I was 2 weeks in jail, but it was the best 2 weeks in my life. Because the officers, they give you a room, they give you any books that you want, they have TV there. I learned there in these 2 weeks what I didn't learn the whole army. So I have to say, Gomer? I don't have to say Gomer. I said, thank God that I was there.
We
Me two more.
upset when they released
Listen,
I don't know.
Prison
My parents did not know about it, that's why.
The prison system that gives adders a master's in
Yeah, they give
college doesn't. You can't say employment when you leave it.
No, but I'm just
Maybe
saying.
there's a level of
They ask you what books you want.
During that
I
room.
took Chumashim, I took Zohar, and I said, no, you do nothing. The officer do nothing. The regular soldier, they take him to work in the kitchen, in the field, in the laundry, in the different places. But
The whole
soldier,
time you didn't wish you could go to the beach, ever?
if there were beach there, I will go. No
I
beach
mean,
there.
it's, you know,
He was already beached.
sunlight, something.
But I still in my mind how the judge said, there's a dragim. Dragim
What does
is
that mean?
dragim,
Rank,
goat.
rank.
It's ranked. There's zragim. Zragim is somebody that you get you. You have no choice. You're a small officer. He's big. We cannot put him in jail. He was yes, three thing here, very high, you know.
Star General.
Yeah, you cannot put him in jail. I have to be quiet.
That's why they get away with everything.
The Rebbe spoke about this prison. They used to bring groups of prisoners to the Rebbe. And there was several stories that the Rebbe was wanted to make sure that these fellows will not feel uncomfortable. The Rebbe was very particular that they shouldn't feel uncomfortable the way they seat them. V'chulu, v'chulu. The Rebbe once spoke in honor of this group a special sicha. The Rebbe said, I don't know if it was organized with the Aleph Institute. So the Rebbe said that we find in the Torah that there's no such a punishment as jail. And we only find that Paroi put people in jail. Yosef was in jail with Mitzrayim. But the Mitzrayim is not a good example of what justice should be. In the Torah, we don't find jail. Yeah, get Malchus, we find the Chiyuv Moment, Knas, but we don't find anything as jail. Why don't we find jail? Because the Eibishter made the world in a way that every person has to be active. A person has to do something. To sit in a room and do nothing, that's not always gehalten al pi Torah. We find in this week's Parsha, Veinechu b'mishmor, they didn't know what to do with them. The question was until they'll find out. Right.
It's a temporary.
But not as a punishment. Not as a punishment. The Rebbe said that even in the countries that they do use it as a punishment, there's two types of countries. Those that do it as to torture the inmates, and those are countries that not only people in jail suffer, the people out of jail suffer also. And then there are countries that put an emphasis on rehabilitating the prisoners. Now, when they go out, they should be able to teach they should be able to teach the others that jail is not and crime is not such a good thing. And therefore, the Rebbe praised that the countries that spend time to make sure that they take care of their religious services and give them kosher and give them freedom sometimes, and they could come to Fabrengen. So on. The Rebbe said we have to learn a lesson of Avodas Hashem.
Didn't everyone want to sit in different places, not together?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the Rebbe said that the lesson of Avodas Hashem is that the Yidden are in jail. What's a jail? You're confined. The Yid is confined in Golus because he can't do what the Rebbeinu Shalom wants. Commit to Tzeinecho. And Avad that the Rebbeinu Shalom didn't put us in confinement for a cruel reason. It's for sure just to rehabilitate. And just like the people that have to say Agoimal It's arba tzrichim lahoidus. The point is that yoidel Hashem chazev and if loisav adam, that a yid should go out and have see the Eibish's chesed and iflos and tell it to the whole world, the bnei adam. Same thing yidden and golus. That the tachlis is that yidden should come out of golus and be able to tell the world chesed and iflos of the Eibishter. So the Alter Rebbe, we mentioned this, we did this yesterday. The Alter Rebbe says in Seder B'Chtenanim, Peri Gimel Alcha Beis, Arba Tzrichim L'Hoidus, Misha Chavash Rebeis Asurim Aliski Nefoshes V'Yotza, Oy Aliski Momen, Imo Yemuna V'Chavalei V'Arzel. That a person that's in jail, if it was a question of Sakonas Nefoshes, or if it was for monetary issues, if he had handcuffs made out of Barzel. So the Mishnah Berurah says, "Re'isi la'echet shekosov." It doesn't say the Alter Rebbe. I don't know if he saw it in the Siddur or if he saw it in the Klisheni. He says, "Re'isi la'echet shekosov," that if he was for capital punishment, or any time in jail if he had metal handcuffs on him. He says, "What kind of thing? Why? Because the pasuk says." That it says there was Yoshe Choshech Tamoves Asiri Oni Obarzel. You don't pass him from a pasuk like that. The pasuk says also the people Yerda Yom Onius Vayokim Saora Lidmoma. There was a Saora. So you only make a Beches Agoimel if your boat got caught into a Saora. If your plane got caught into a turbulence, only then, and otherwise you don't make a goimel. How could you pass him from psukim like this? It doesn't make sense. That's a time of the Mishnah Berurah. So the answer is that here it's different. As we explained yesterday, there is a machlokes between the Ashkenazim and Sfardim when you make a goimel. According to the Ashkenazim, it's only if it was sakonas achayim. According to the Ashkenazim say only if it's a sakonas achayim. His life was in danger. The Sfardim say kol derech v'kol chayli, because the Yeshama says kol chayli b'cheskes achona v'kol derech b'cheskes achona. The Alter Rebbe made a certain pshara, just like the Rabbi we learned yesterday. If a person is sick, so if he's 3 days in bed, he should already make a goimel. Same thing here. The Alter Rebbe made a pshara. If a person is yoshvei choshech v'tzalmavis, it's capital punishment. But what happens if he was not only that, but he was for monetary issues, but he was tortured. He was with Chavlei Varzel, which is very, 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 very harsh. So B'meila Alter Rebbe makes a pshara between the two shittas of the Sfardim and Ashkenazim, that also this person, it's not that the Alter Rebbe just read from the Pasuk and Paskan from the Alter Rebbe made a pshara between the Minig Sfarad and the Minig Ashkenaz. And so therefore the Alter Rebbe says that anytime the person is in jail, if he had the handcuffs on him. Shaila is...
Every prisoner when he's arrested, they put him in handcuffs.
Oh, so
we're not talking about just going to a holding cell with a handcuffs.
Right. So the shaila is.
Sometimes the holy cell is much more dangerous than the regular cell.
If you're in, so that's what I think.
In Manhattan, in the Brooklyn, they have a holding cell where they don't just differentiate. Right skim and they have a white collar.
Right.
Islam draws on people.
Right. So the Rebbe has an interesting sikha where he talks about the Arba Tzrichim Lahoidus, how that connects to the Yidden when they went out of Mitzrayim. There's a random ha'or in that sikha. It's a chelik base. The Rebbe says, Tzorich Iyun L'ma'alocha L'ma'isa, a person that was in house arrest, if it was for capital punishment, if that would be considered a person that has to make a goimel, because the Shulchan Aruch says in the pasuk it says in the Gemara it says that he went in Beis Asurim, Yoshvei Choshech v'Tzalmovis. But he's sitting in his house. It's not Yoshvei Choshech v'Tzalmovis, but it's capital punishment. The Rebbe says Tzorich Iyun.
Capital punishment.
That it was capital punishment, but he was facing a judgment of, but he's not in jail. He's in house arrest. What would be the din?
If they commuted.
Yeah, right.
What's the chiluk?
So because the pasuk says Yoshvei Choshech v'Tzalmovis, and the Shulchan Aruch says a person was in jail.
Right.
Could be
capital punishment anywhere you're sitting is Yoshvei Choshech v'Tzalmovis.
I don't know. The Rebbe says Tzorich Iyun L'Maisa, Halacha L'Maisa. Interesting. So I would say that Kol Shekin Tzorich Iyun Halacha L'Maisa if a person had handcuffs and was never in jail.
Yeah.
If the Rebbe had a Tzorich Iyun, he was capital punishment. It was commuted. Very good. Now Sheilos, should he make a goimel? He didn't sit for 1 day in jail. He was in house arrest. Kol Shekin, a person that was in handcuffs but wasn't in jail in handcuffs. But if he was in jail in handcuffs, for sure he has to make a
The
goimel.
case is that the holding cell is worse than the jail.
If it's a matzias that it's in danger, then
Sometimes
you
they
should-
just put you on, like they did to this guy, this year, Rahman al-Islam, that made the headlines for the whole year. Harvey Weinstein, he was walking in handcuffs, and then when they got him into the court, they unlocked him. And he didn't go out, they just wanted to make a whole show with him in handcuffs. But, so he never even made it, he wasn't even in a holding cell.
right.
So maybe that's what they was talking about.
Otazoi. So,
No,
so,
for sure not.
so Harvey Weinstein has a great lawyer that Baruch Hashem spoke at Otazoi, and he spoke by the Kinus. And he said that he used to sit at Easter Parkway. He lived in the apartment 777
You should know there was a half a minute not to take it.
because of
No, he's
yeah.
doing a big mitzvah, you should know.
That's what you put in
Yeah?
your
Guys, the whole
Does
world
Harvey
turned their back on
Weinstein
me.
make
Doesn't
a
have a person to
comment?
The only one that's friendly is Brahman.
That's the tag.
Same thing on the show of his life.
It's the YouTube hits.
He's still a kid.
He's still a yid.
Yeah.
He's what?
Getting a lot of money from the guy.
Weinstein
not what he's doing.
makes it go.
I mean, if he would get paid, he wouldn't do it either. But he's not doing it for the
He's
money.
getting a lot of PR.
Yeah, not
Everybody's
No,
going
exactly.
the Trump
That's
way.
what he does.
There's no bad PR.
There is.
It's the Trump sheet. That doesn't mean it's everybody's sheet. The Trump sheet is there's no such thing as bad PR. Doesn't matter. As long as they're talking about me, it's okay. to talk
Continue,
about me.
continue.
Continue. That's not Brahman's sheet.
That's it. It was good for the Jews.
You wonder when a guy like Weinstein, you know, that there can always be a tinge of anti-Semitism.
Yeah, of course.
Not saying he's a tzaddik.
No, no.
How about in New York, these cops, they're Meshuggahim, and if you talk back to them, they arrest you on the spot, you know? Then they could release you. Well, on the spot, okay, ticket. Well, to the court. Do you have to bench for that?
So again, if you were in handcuffs and they pulled you into a cell,
But son of Sam,
then, but if you are handcuffs only like outside the jail,
right.
that would I think go into the Suffolk Brachas where
Even for a day, like just till the end of the day, if you're
if in a cell with handcuffs.
By the way, I just want to say about him. The Goyim have the biggest, one of the biggest slanders against the Eden is that they control Hollywood. The reason they say why Jews created Hollywood was to escape anti-Semitism, because they weren't being hired. Jews are talented, so they weren't being hired for other things. So they said, let's make Sonis a profession. Let's become clowns, become comedians, actors. Jews did create Hollywood. So the concept of the Jew running Hollywood and the Jew ruining Hollywood is the biggest story of all time. Because we got you. Tonight we got you moments. And they're showing, here's a guy who was feared for 10 years as the Jewish, anti-Yashka. And all of a sudden they prove it, that he is anti-Yashka.
And all the tzidkonius that he was
Right.
honest, all these
Exactly.
in his mamish
Right.
noshim
And
tzidkonius.
meanwhile, one just said, the one that recently accused them, they were friends for 10 years.
Yeah.
They don't
Noshim
say that.
tzidkonius. Noshim
It was
tzidkonius.
10 years they were
Noshim,
friends, but
no,
somehow he was my honest after 10 years.
yeah. Noshim betzion inu. You know, it's like mamish.
Yeah, he was a bad. He's definitely the worst criminal in this regard for sure. And most of them are innocent.
Really?
But yeah, for sure.
Compared to Bill Cosby?
Same thing.
Same.
Same thing.
Why don't we finish the shit?
Okay. Okay, so let's summarize. Definitely, if a person.
Can we erase that list? We can do
Yeah, we can do that. A person that's in jail for any reason, if he had handcuffs and he was in jail, definitely makes a goimel. Even without handcuffs, but he was there with a whole bunch of colored people of all colors, and there's a fellow that's here. The other Kleinigkeit, he ended up, I forgot what it was, and he ended up in the cell for a few days. A holding cell. He said, "Mamish is noid of oyim, noid of oyim,
Everybody's there.
noid of oyim."
Suspended license, anything.
Rabbi Shalom Dov Bevolpe had a story like that. He was in the world with the worst criminals.
Suspended license.
Yeah.
Central booking, 71st precinct, 61st precinct.
But they put you with the
Yeah, they truck you in the middle of the night.
You
with
leave
a
your
bunch
car
of
right there. They don't.
Heroin addicts.
If you have kids in the car,
rapists.
you have kids in the car. They
The longest
call
was
up
about 24 hours.
child protection, 15 kids old.
No
They don't
kidding.
care that you're terrorizing the
There's
kids.
Kidding him, kidding
It's
him.
much more serious that you have a suspended
They
license
want
that the
you
kids
to
should be
see.
terrorized. That's
Right.
much worse. Although it's true that with a suspended license, most of the people are.
But not only suspended license. Nusigunut, I was waiting for him at 770. His son was having anochas tefillin. He's not showing up. I'm calling, waiting. Later I came a few minutes later, because his car, they didn't change the they had the temporary registration, and already it was 1 day over.
They arrested him for that?
Yeah,
1 day over. Wow.
yeah,
Doesn't make sense.
Take away your car. Don't
yeah.
Sick people.
But take you too. Not
Didn't
only
help.
the car.
Tried to explain it's bar mitzvah. This, your son was going to learn a lesson. It was a very important lesson.
It must have happened in crime. There's such Halacha. No? Was the crime
I think that we don't have a monopoly of the Chalera cops in Kornite.
No.
They're take outstanding, but
They all start off in Crown Heights.
oh yeah.
The marker. It's the marker of
That's the
the
first. They send everybody first to Crown Heights.
They go the roads.
You're good. You go to the Bronx. You can stay another year.
Cop stopped my wife in Crown Heights. He said, "You were on your phone." I said, "My wife said, nah, I had my phone on me." She says, "Yes, you did. Let me see it." She goes to the. She says, "Open the phone." Made my wife open the phone. She goes to the last call and she writes the ticket to the last call my wife made. 15 minutes
Imagine
before.
Halacha.
Oh my
No
god.
kidding.
Wow.
Yeah. Could you imagine that?
You go to my school.
In Crown
You
Heights.
go to my school.
That what?
Wow.
These days,
That what?
you had a reverse dash on your car.
Exactly. Could you imagine how that would go viral?
Good they
If
should.
something like that
Now
happened,
really
it would be
now.
all over the Georgia report.
Secret camera.
Yeah, you're right.
If you happen to a black
It's not hard.
woman or man, be riot all over.
Exactly. Like on the
right
subway,
on.
she says, "No Jews get up for me." She says,
Yeah.
like, "I walk around, no Jews get up for me." She says, "Your own mother doesn't." She sort of said that your mother doesn't get up for you. Your kids don't get up for you.
Oh, she said only if a Jewish mother comes along, that's when you guys stand.
Right, so they should have said, "Listen, your
Wow.
kids don't stand up for your black mother. Why should the Jewish mother?"
That guy who was standing
Is that the
at the
original?
shop, the guy who was
What's the
talking,
mice? The mice
Who is
know
it?
it.
he's a, I don't know his first name, but I've seen him in show in Crown Heights. Sweetest, quietest guy down on the just a nice.
It's wild to me. How many
Yeah,
Trump
I heard
supporters
it.
are anti-
Wow. Can you the call of Hashem? So again, if a person is in a holding cell, if it was taka sakona, shemek agoyim, if not, only if he was b'chavli barzel in the holding cell. Third thing, Dabra b'nei Yisrael v'amart Elohim v'oslam tzitzis, so Yid asked Erev Shabbos Kodesh, a shaila. There is a minute, some people are change every beggar they have on them before Shabbos, including the Gatkes. I never heard of this, but this is what the Yid said, that everyone, yeah, that's special for Shabbos or fresh ones. Yeah. So the question is, now he's changing his tzitzis, and there's some people that have special tzitzis for Shabbos, special begotten for Shabbos. Talis Godel, Talis Kotten, special for Shabbos. So should you make another bracha for the tzitzis? Fair question, and I thought Bashka for Rishayna that yeah, you should make another bracha, but I looked into it last night, Takazoi, that you should make another bracha. Yeah, you should. Look in the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, Siman Ches, Sif Chof Aleph. It's almost clear in the words of the Alter Rebbe. Im yesh loy kama begodim shel arba kanfas. If he has a few begodim, a few talis cotton, say, kulam chayavim betzitzis, afilu lev shem kulam ke'echad, shenemar kanfa v'gdeim ha bigdeim, har begodim b'mashma, plural. So you have to have, each one of them has to have a pair of tzitzis. Im loy shem kulam zecher zeh, really have seksicha ben time, if he's putting on 5 of them, one after the other, and not speaking in between. And also, number 1, he's doing them one after the other, and number 2, he had in mind he's going to do that. For all the 5 mitzvahs. I feel in Parsha Tarishin, even if he took off the first one before he put on the second. If he was mafsek in between putting on one and the other with speaking, but
Talking about a person that's not wearing a talis clothing, isn't it?
but we're talking about a talis kotel lamazon, or
Right.
talis.
I'm
But
saying if he would have made one bracha of talis clothing, he'd be matter all of them.
if he's putting them one after the other, zeh chazeh. Not if he's putting it on now and then a few hours later. If he put on one and he asked for some of his friend to bring him the other one, that's not called a hefsek. בתחילה בשביל ברכה לבש כולם מיד ואף בשנים לכך לבשן כולם זכזה מקום כיבש בתחילה לא יבדאית כן הווה כמה הפסק וצורך לברך כמה שנים לכך שגומר ללבש בגוד משדאית לבש ברכה. The last part is not in the give for us right now. So it's Parsha you have to make another bracha. So it's because Alter Rebbe says the only time that they're all covered by the one bracha is loivsham kulam ze acher ze. And so the second thing you could say hoy bedal tetchila. Okay, Friday I knew I'm going to change, but there wasn't. But I spoke in between plenty.
Why love Shem Zeh? Take one, take it up, take one.
No, a person is that have Scheinberg. What was his name?
70
Chaim Pinchas. And he said in the morning he put on 70 pairs. So he made one bracha, and then he put even if
he had them with safety because
Tight,
every
yeah.
15.
oh yeah,
You put on 15.
15 at a
Did he
time.
change
Ah,
it
you
for
can't put on
Shabbos?
two begonim at once. I don't know what he
Did
had.
he change it for Shabbos to another 70?
I don't know.
He turned it around. The inside, outside.
No, I think he changed his he changed his
Only you're only supposed to make in the morning if you're ready. B'shas you're putting it on, you're ready. Washed your hands and and the room is clean and you can make a bracha. Otherwise, you rely on the talis gadol that you do later for the talis cotton. But if you're really putting it on the talis cotton in a time and place that you can already speak divrei Torah, you washed full negelwasser and the room doesn't have. So then you should make on the talis cotton. Well, only that we most of the time are putting on the talis cotton before we could make the bracha. So once it's already on, we're relying on the talis gadol to cover the talis cotton.
So you're saying you should put it on at that time earlier.
No, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
You're just
Lepoil.
in another room after
If,
that.
right, if you washed full negelwasser, you have another room where you have a closet, and over there, and you could make the bracha. Yeah, you should make a separate bracha. You should make two separate brachas. Yes,
So
definitely.
You just in the Hayom Yom recently said you don't.
No, he said only. You have to look again in those words. Only when you're standing in a place or time where you can't make the bracha on the talis cotton. So since right now, when you're putting on the talis cotton, you can't make the bracha. So, and we know that later you're going to put on a talis gadol. So when you put on the talis gadol, you have in mind also for the talis cotton. But if a person is standing in a place that he could make the bracha now, he should make the bracha now. And later he comes to shul and it's a hefsek in between, so he definitely legitimately can make a second bracha on the talis gadol, no problem at all. And he should do that.
And it doesn't have to be after brachas anymore.
No, it doesn't have to be after
Well, what
brachas,
has to be
but it has to be that a person is in a place where he's allowed to say a bracha,
Right.
and a person is in the position that he's allowed to make the bracha. You ready? Wash nagavasa.
What happens if you put on your tzitzis, you get
So
dressed,
variable.
say brachas, right? You can make a bracha afterwards, so you put it on a while ago?
No, then we said na yom yom that since you're ready at us, then rely on the talis gadol.
What about if you're? I'm sorry.
Get up.
So let's just
I'll
finish
ask
there.
you people.
So I found in the Ben Ish Chai, and I found a few more, but I found the Fedish this way in the Ben Ish Chai. I'll talk about the Ben Ish Chai. Just
We cover him a lot. Ben Shai. Yes.
well, I like to emphasize it. Im hechlif begodav. Im hechlif begodav. Aloy v'shtalas kotten acher. Afilu shaloy shetekem miyad acher shabosh shalish nevarach al zeh chodesh. V'chein hu adem b'talas godel lepoish zeh shalov v'loy v'shtalas godel acher yavarach al hasheni. First of all, Istami has an interesting thing here. If a person goes into the bathhouse, he takes it off, so we don't make another, because say he had in mind that it's a short hefsek. It's not, the Rebbe says that the hefsek should be, if you took off your talis, as long as it takes you to daven, more time than that, that's when you have to make a new bracha. So if you went into some Russian banya and you spent an hour and a half, then you come out, you make a bracha putting on your talis again. Most of us are not spending time in a Russian banya, and our showers are maybe less than 20 minutes. Halavai, even that. So we daven more time than we take a shower. So therefore, doesn't. But he said Arizal.
Hours. No, it's not 2 hours.
The Rebbe, Alter Rebbe,
You think that was 2 hours?
the Rebbe says that there's a lashon somewhere from the a few hours, which means 3 hours. The Rebbe says because the Alter Chassidim, they used to daven, Chassidim Rishonim, which is the Shem Sha'ach, so the davening used to take close to 3 hours. So for them, if this is shear of a talus was 3 hours. So if you took off your talus for more than 3 hours, even though you had in mind you're going to put it on again, that's considered a hefsek.
But less than that.
Less than that is not considered a hefsek. So when you
Even
go,
if you daven less than 3 hours.
well, the Rebbe it's mashma to totally every person how long they daven.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but no one davens less than 20 minutes.
No, I'm saying right now, right. But
So
that's
most
a
people
talus
that-
of cotton, though. Why should
Any
talus
talus.
have the same din?
And because any talus has the din. Because that's a shir hefsek in a talus. So the Ben Ish Chai says, oh, you're back. So Ben Ish Chai, we're special for you. The Ben Ish Chai says that we know that the Arizal used to go to the Tvila, to the mikveh, and when he used to go out, he used to put on his talus and make a bracha. So l'chayre, one would say that Arizal was Malach Elakim. We should learn halachas from him.
Probably in the bar for now.
Oh, so that you can by that. He says another thing, another taina. He says that he was in the bar for an hour, but maybe he davened for 3. So that's not going to help.
True.
He says that
Maybe
Izal was such kavonos that it was a hesach hadas from his tzitzis. When he was in the mikveh, he was in a different world. He went from oilam haza to a different oilam. It's like he went from here to the moon and came back. It was like he was a new person when he came out of the
slept. Like
mikveh.
he slept.
Yeah, it was like a total hesach hadas. Tefillah, so he says bittel, a person's mavatal himself. Okay, but beruchnis mavatal. How much bittel do you the Ben Ish Chai?
So Ibazai, if someone really
Yeah, I'm telling you.
So Ibazai, if someone's really getting a schmack from the banya, then he also has to make a bracha. Just
If he gets so lost, in the banya experience.
They used to have a banya that was open. They gave plates, this and this, and with these
Yeah.
leaves, and they would smack each other with them.
The guy's catching his fungus in the mikveh. Maybe
I see there is a Russian banya across, take the
A
kids
McDonald's.
on McDonald's. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Taka has it.
Island years back.
Oh yeah?
Oh, yeah. Coney Island. No, it didn't have that many Russians there,
Uh-huh.
No, it's an old timer.
That's the place to live on McDonald Avenue, the banya.
I see them there. They're there.
They have a sign.
No, it's closed.
It's closed?
I think they knocked it down.
They knocked it down.
They're building a huge building on it.
I go to ShopRite, I see it's not, they're not closed.
I know my brother came b'shlichus to Russia, so he had an apartment, no shower, no bath. I don't know how you have such apartments, b'chlal. So for the first few months, they used to go to the local banya.
You use the bathroom too?
A bathroom they had, but the shower. Who needs a shower? Who needs? Huh?
It was
What
close
year
to
was
Siberia.
In,
Close to
10
Siberia.
years ago in Ulyanovsk, there was no shower and no bathtub.
My time, when I was in Russia, I used to go to
To the banya? They went to the banya.
Did they give you plants? Did they hit each other with the leaves?
No, that's different banya. They have like banya only with showers.
For normal.
Like banya with Danish.
With what?
Danish.
Danichkins.
They call it plates.
Danichkins.
So therefore, it's a murder the kavod.
Danishes and a banya.
You might talk in those buyings might be talking also have a second that's because you're just happy that you get out alive.
However, the flip side is an interesting thing. They asked, I heard this day in the name of Reb Zalman Shimon Dvorkim Zachrono Livrocha, that Bochrim that had one pair of tzitzis. Today, I mean, Baruch Hashem, I don't think we're in that situation. Baruch Hashem, people could afford to have 2 and 3 pairs of tzitzis.
At least go to the Shemus and on Erev Pesach and get it.
You can get a couple of pairs of tzitzis, exactly, and even good ones.
Good ones, yeah.
But if you're wearing it all night, you can't make a bracha in the morning. So he said that they should, when they go to the mikveh.
That's only because it's Ksus Laila, but what if it's Ksus Laila and Yom?
So still, but they were wearing it all night. Lapel, they were wearing it all night.
But there was a time that was
It's a machloek.
because it wasn't as man.
But that's the machloikas. What's the pshat? What's the pshat?
According to
Ksus?
some people, you should make a bracha.
It's a machloikas, so you don't make a bracha. It's a suffix. It's a machloikas the Rosh and the Rambam. So he said
we
that.
don't pass it either way in the
Well, we say suffix local.
We always change in the morning.
If you fell asleep on the
Not the
couch,
Birchas tzitzis is the rabbanon.
Not a problem.
not at all.
So therefore, he said that you should rely on the fact that the mikveh is a hefsek, and then when they put on the tzitzis, when they come out of the mikveh, they should make a bracha. But that's the flip side. Anyway, but back to the Ben Ish Chai,
But that's only 20 minutes to make it.
I guess those bochrim are probably
ones
toiveling in the mikveh with the one pair of tzitzis.
I know,
Those
but-
are toiveling like the Arizal, like the Ben Ish Chai explains.
Very good. I thought you were going to say the other way.
No.
The lady that can't get another pair of tzitzis.
No. Those are stuff. Chassidische bochrim. and they're
I
toiveling.
used to go to Yaakov Mikveh. I don't think you could do that.
No, he said of some more the kavort that
Talking about the
these.
people that don't know that it's dirty or clean.
No, we're talking about such a mikveh. You're totally offensive.
No, he's saying not forget. You go in there, you jump, you're out of there before you're in it.
You forget.
No, you don't forget nothing. He's talking. The Rav's talking about the Halacha Bachar that don't know if they're in a clean or dirty mikveh.
Right, that like that is that.
They're just
The different
thinking
world.
about
They come
the
back.
tefillah.
Lamaisa back to our shaila. Person that gets undressed Erev Shabbos or whatever. The bottom line is he changes his tzitzis. L'kovet Shabbos Kodesh. Definitely has to make a brocha bichas tzitzis on the new tzitzis. The Eibush is helping that we should all be zoiche to the reward of mitzvah tzitzis, because the Gemara says, or Shelach says, that for mitzvah tzitzis you get 2,800 avodim. So we should all be zoiche, take it from yad to have those 2,800 avodim.
Amen.